Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the Helicopter Show. Guys are doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 23 May 2025. As you can see, we're doing something close to a miracle today. We don't have my computer. We have my computer, but it's closed. I sincerely want to apologize to you guys because we're about to redo the first part of Trailer Park Boys Season 4. What happened? One of my nickname in all stage of my life, as soon as I was coming out, my nickname coming out the womb, not coming out sexually. Thank you for assuming my sexuality, you fucking misogynistic pig. So what happened is I filmed a intro for season 4. I'm so sorry. And the intro for season 4, I had a little problem. It was very short. So because it was very short, I didn't upload those videos because I like do the behind the scene, right? What happened is I like to film a lot. So it's a long story, but if I can make it simpler, I like to film a lot. I filmed a shit ton. My phone was full, so I'm like, okay, well, upload some videos. And because you're uploading some videos, you will have the space and you can go to sleep. So I can go to sleep for 2 or 3 hours. Videos are uploading, the phone gets empty, and I can make content simple enough, right? So there you go. So I deleted the season 4. Now, why am I sorry? Because technically speaking, it's all up here, right? It's all up here. The content is up here. I will see. That's the problem with making unplanned content or unplanned pregnancy, which is a great thing. Don't talk about it as a problem. The great thing that you can do is coming in and being yourself and talk about subject, right? You will never get this first version. You will get the rehearsed version, right? So possibly the first one was better, or possibly this one is better. We'll never know. But you know what I know? We should start now. The season 4, to me, Trailer Park Boy, watching it so close here, it's kind of crazy. And I did this with Shameless, but we didn't start covering Shameless. So to me this is insanity. To me this is completely nuts because I never talked about a show and did from season 1 to season 7, which is technically speaking 87 episodes, which is not bad. So now what we're doing is we're seeing the very close. Usually what I do is I'll do season 1, I'll do an episode, then I'll wait a couple of days to do another episode. We're seeing the series as a whole. I didn't realize how much the boys, the park changed every single season. But I gotta say, season 4, out of the blue, is possibly one of the best changes ever. So let's rewind ourselves what happened. And a shit leopard cannot change its spots. This is season 3 finale. So I still remember, even though it was 3 days ago. It was 3 days ago, but it was 2 seasons ago because we already finished watching season 5. So Julian went to jail. So what is the cool thing is, and that's something I never even noticed. See, Trailer Park Boys, and again, I say this with love because I love the show. I hope you guys get the impression that I like the show because that's the truth. That's the truth. Little action from PPP. Or Kino Casino if you prefer. I don't know. You really you have this season, and from this season there's no need for the time-wise. For example, you'll have a very clear understanding of what's going on, right? Now, in between the season, since Trailer Park Boys have so little, this is the first time I talk about it. I didn't talk about this the first time. I can't remember what I was talking about, but still. So the behind since we don't have a timeline, you are not being precise on just how much is going on behind the scene between season. And some season you can have a lot, some season you can have a little bit. And it's such a specific thing that it kind of makes it's kind of part of the show. Not really, but technically yes. How are we talking about technically it is part of the show? Well, that is super simple. I forgot to do a video. Fuck. So technically, how it works is, for example, right? The guys go to jail, and then the park gets to rebuild itself. See, I used to think, and this is truly my opinion. Don't take it for fact. I used to think that the boys in between season was the jail. So they have this business. They go through the whole series, to the whole season. They go to jail. They lose everything. The next season, They have a new plan. They go through everything. They go to jail. The third season, they lost everything. They have to restart. But it's not that. It's how the park changes. So in the first season, we have a calm park. We have the park the way it's supposed to be, right? There's some problem with the Cyrus, but apart from that, the park stays the same. Season 2, the breakup between Randy and Leahy is affecting a lot of the park, right? Season 3, the boys they come back with a lot of money, and it kind of changed the park. Season 4, for the first time, we have Julian going to jail. I mentioned this before and I'll say it again, but this is possibly one of the most influential thing. So the Trailer Park Boys could have just been the Ricky and Julian show, right? But you did boys, so you can do Ricky, Bubbles, and Julian. I said it before, I said it again. Ricky is at one left, Julian is at one right. Now, so you decide if you prefer the left side or the right side. I don't give a fuck. But there's extremity. Julian is a planner, but it's not a doer. Ricky is a doer, but not a planner. You can see that in the big dirty when there's a plan that doesn't work, and Ricky is the one that saves the day. So we always have this balance, right? And Bubbles is a side character. Bubbles is a pretty normal guy, but he is highly dependent on Ricky and Julian. So the way the acting affects him. Bubble could live his life fixing cars and just having some fun, but he goes with Julian and Ricky. Now, for the first time, it's not specified if it's the first time ever, but in the story of the show, it is the first time ever. So Bubble stays with Ricky. Ricky, once again, Trailer Park Boys supervisor, since Jim Leahy goes to the and again, you don't really have to explain it. The show doesn't talk about it. The show doesn't explain it, but it's so good. Jim Leahy goes to prison. There's an assistant Trailer Park and a Trailer Park supervisor job that opens. The only one with experience was Ricky. You don't need to explain this. You know why? Season 3, episode number 2 is that fucking Ricky. I have been a assistant supervisor for an afternoon. That was enough to get a job. I love this. This is my favorite show, anyway. You didn't know? Cool. You know what I'll do? Okay, I'll do an announcement. And the announcement after that, pray for me, because this is where we go. Fuck, what am I saying? I take too much break. I do too much side tangent. I'm in a really good mood today. Can you tell? Good. For the people that know, Ink, you're in depression, Ink, you're not feeling good. Seeing me like that is either super weird or super refreshing. So, you don't have to tell me that Ricky has been supervising, because I saw it. And then he's been there. Bubbles being the assistant manager meant that him and Ricky spent a lot of time. And Bubbles, it's so complex. See, Ricky will always be Ricky, Julian will always be Julian, but Bubble does change. And it changes a lot in season 4. I would say this is the biggest change in character that we have the whole show. Because he's spending so much time with Ricky. And Ricky is part of chaos, and Ricky is such a great this is such a great position to say this is true influence, you know. In the first season, yes, Bubble and Ricky were friends, but they were not close, right? Now technically, again, the first season, Bubble was not supposed to be part of the show. That's kind of important too. Season 4, episode 1, Never Cry Shitwolf. So we got the boys coming back from jail, Ricky and Bubbles becoming assistant trailer park supervisor. Was complete chaos. However, it's good chaos. So for example, they installed satellites for people. They have a 2 separate part of the park. Now, the 2 separate part of the park is amazing. If you want to be part of the crew, if you want to be part of our activities, if you want to live in our way, go up to our side of the park. There's no problem. If you don't want, stay in your side of the park. We won't bother you, right? So doing that is actually quite sensible. However, it's nothing surprising, because again, if you remember season 3, episode 1, which is Give Freedom a Chance, you remember that Ricky, the second he got money, was making the park richer. Richard Richer. That's his real name. Ricky is Rick or Richard. It's funny because it's so fucking funny, because Ricky is the only one that had a family name. Bubbles probably had a name before Bubble, but we forgot what it is, right? So this is explained in the animated series. Bubbles just came out, and he was being homeschooled, and then he started going to school, and he was being bullied, and then Ricky and Julian kind of got him. They kind of helped him out, and he had his cool ass bubble machine. So when they asked him what was his name, he didn't answer, and they say, "Oh, why don't we call you Bubbles?" And the name sticked out. Which would not make any fucking sense if it wasn't for J-Rock. Again, season 3 was Microphone Assassin. J-Rock believes he's black. He believes it so much that other people from the park say, "Yeah, he's black, no problem. We accept him the way he is." You talk about non-binary. You talk about gender fluid. You're talking about all of these concepts of pronouns, and I'm an AFAB, and I'm like a cis. I'm cis. I'm straight. I'm bisexual. I'm asexual, demisexual. All that, right? What about biracial? That's what Jamie is. J-Rock. If you call him Jamie, I'll knock you out, son. You know what I'm saying? So in season 4, you have Julian comebacks, right? And it's kind of cool. Oh my god, do I go crazy? What Ink Vendetta do you want tonight? You want a psychotic Ink Vendetta? You want a normal Ink Vendetta? I'm gonna pretend like you said the psychotic Ink Vendetta. There's a principle in movie I first started seeing in Fight Club, which is an an unreliable narrator. So somebody that tells the story, but you don't really know if it's true or not. Ricky and Bubbles tell the story, but you don't know what they're saying, because technically speaking, the show is Julian. The show has always been Julian. It's been Julian season 1 episode 1. So you're getting okay. Well, they've been growing dope. Don't know why. Now later in the season, it is explained. It is explained when they have the wheat field, when they have the whole thing. It is explained, but not so much, right? So we have Ricky and Julian kind of being there. The first episode is all about Never Crack Shit Wolf, so it's about moving the weed. So the problem is Julian, and you know what? I'm gonna give credits to Ricky, because Julian doesn't want to be associated with that, and Ricky's not gonna be like, "Yo, fuck your weed." Like, okay, Julian, it's not gonna be in the park, but I'm gonna still grow weed. They have these compromises, and Ricky does a really good job at compromising. The whole episode is funny because we establish Bubbles as a musician. Bubbles is a musician which is super popular. We're talking about 3 or 4 songs, which is "Kitties are so nice, kitties are so nice, put them down, spin them around, tickle their belly twice, kitties are so nice. I found Daisy in a storm drain, covered in liquor and glue. I took her back and gave her some kitty shampoo." Or a song like "Liquor and Whores, Liquor and Whores, cigarettes and dope and mustard and bologna, liquor and whore. When I went down to the town of Georgia, and I met a girl." Now later on, Bubbles is a real musician. Bubbles, funny thing is, bro, this is okay. So I'm a bit weird today. I'm gonna tell you why. Yesterday we took a break. We didn't make some videos. Today I didn't make some videos. I haven't talked to people today. I'm really happy to talk to you guys. Is that cute? Is that crazy? It's kind of cute. It's the cute of from afar, and from close you're like, dude, I need to get a fucking what should you call it? Like you gotta get closer. A non-contact agreement, something like that. Some shit like that, right? And yeah, so later on, Bubble created Shit Rocker. The funny thing with Bubbles is Mike Smith wasn't supposed to be part of the Trailer Park Boys. So what happened was Mike Smith was a band, he was a musician from Nova Scotia, which is where the Trailer Park Boys are filmed. And then Mike Smith was on Mike Smith, and that's the craziest story. Mike Smith was chilling with the boys, or chilling with the crew. I'm gonna say the crew because it's a bit more vague, and I'm less allowed to have a mistake, right? I'm less likely to make a mistake. So then what happened is he had this character called, I don't know how he called it, but it was the character that's supposed to be Bubbles. I have a leakage of rain from the top. You see me looking around the loft is because I have my computer, I have my phone, I have some delicious snacks. Delicious. So Mike Smith was making this character, and Mike Cronenberg, which was the realizator behind Trailer Park Boys. So people talk about Michael Volpe. So if you know the truth about the whole documentary, Michael Volpe and the boys talked about it for a while. But it's funny because this is some of the only content that you'll see them as Rob Wells, Mike Smith, and Jean-Paul Tremblay. So Mike Cronenberg was it was the heart of the. He was the heart of the. It's such a hard thing to say. Barry Dunn. So if you look at the director, there's three. There's Mike Cronenberg, there is Michael Volpe, and there is Barry Dunn. Barry Dunn, you might know him under Ray LaFleur, which is his character name, which is that of Ricky. Barry Dunn liked the show. Barry Dunn liked the show. He liked being part of the show. He liked the universe of the show. He really liked it, and he was a good director, but he didn't have the vision. It was just like, okay, well, let's fucking go. Now Barry Dunn is selling cars, right? Michael Volpe was the financial aspect, was the business aspect. So he was behind everything. He was behind the movies. He was behind everything, but he didn't keep. He didn't like the show as much as Barry Dunn did. He didn't like Barry Dunn as much as. Okay, so technically speaking, there's two shows before. It's so fucking complex. Wow. There's two shows behind Trailer Park Boys. There's One Last Shot, which is Jim Leahy, when he fell in love with the alcohol, and I'll have to watch that. Yeah, I'll have to watch that. And there's One Last Shot, which is a very young Ricky and Julian. There's not even Bubble there. There's Pat Roach, and it's very similar to Ricky and Julian. Michael Volpe wasn't there. Mike Cronenberg was behind it. So Mike Cronenberg says, let's do the Trailer Park Boys. And the Trailer Park Boys, the first season has very low budget. And then when the show became famous, Michael Volpe came in and said, yo, I can take you to the next level financially. Mike Cronenberg was behind it. Mike Cronenberg was he was the crazy director. He was the creator that you see on the scene. So wearing Bubbles glasses and playing as Bubbles and saying, and coming up with a lot of Rickyism. So that's the funniest thing. The craziest thing actually, is Mike Smith, Jean-Paul Tremblay, Rob Well, which is Ricky, Julian, and Bubble, respectively. They did an IQ test, and Rob Wells was the smartest of the three. Rob Wells was Ricky. A lot of Rickyism came from Mike Cronenberg, right? Come back to our sheeps. So the nicest thing about this episode is, I made a mistake the first time I said it, but I'm going to do the same mistake, just for a matter of being transparent, of being an equilibrium of the forces of ADHD, right? Sith Lord Inky or Jedi Master Vendetta. I think it's the other way around, but I don't give a fuck. Huh? I love life. Oh my god, I love life. So what ended up happening is in season 4 episode 3, DVD, which is again from Microsoft Assassin. So this is the strength of Trailer Park Boys. I forgot to mention how much more we're seeing Barbara being the Trailer Park supervisor. But again, we did see her. That's not true. We did see her a lot in season 2, but it wasn't as Barbara. We saw her, and I'm sorry if I'm being misogynistic. That's not the plan. But we see her as this somewhat of a park habitant who is the mother of Trina, which has a huge part in season 2. But also as the person that might marry Sam Lofko. You know, we don't see her as, okay, well, she's the fucking Trailer Park supervisor, and you better be nice to her. Season 4 is like, okay, well, the park is mine, and I have to do shit, right? I don't even remember where I stopped yesterday. Fuck. Well, I'm doing a little announcement in between. I'm officially saying that we will do. Oh my god, yes. We'll do till season 7, and after okay, we'll do another video. We'll do it. My apologies. I'm afraid of forgetting it. I tend to forget stuff. So J-Rock was supposed to be arrested. I thought it was in season 4, episode 1. It's in season 4, episode 3. So J-Rock had a new manager, which is DVD that we saw in Microphone Assassin, and then his manager says you should be arrested, and like, yo, pimp and hose, which is rub rub tiggy zug. Should have thought about it. Is that, yeah? I don't know exactly. A man gotta eat. Yeah, so we'll do a man gotta eat and rub rub tiggy zug. Yeah. Okay, cool. So Bubble, I'm so sorry. Bubble was one of the tech guy for music. And Matt Berg was like, "Yo, you're really talented. Become a character." And then he became Bubbles. Cool enough, cool. Then in later season, he has Bubbles in the shit rock. But that's another story. So they want to get arrested, right? J-Rock want to get arrested, but he doesn't get arrested because that's season 4, episode 3. So yeah, so the whole thing is about drugs. Leahy and Randy come back, and that's a problem because all around, so there's always this power leverage. Ricky, the only reason he was able to say fuck you to Leahy was because he didn't give a fuck. You see, Julian will tell Leahy fuck you, but there's sort of this mutual respect in between the two of them. They don't like each other, but they tolerate each other. Bubble is weird. Bubble is really, really weird. Okay, so this is a huge spoiler. Leahy and Bubbles have this almost proxy piece. So Leahy knows that Bubble is only the way he is because with Julian and Ricky. So the problem with Bubbles is Ricky and Julian go to jail often. And I get a feeling that when Julian and Ricky aren't there, Bubble is a model citizen. He doesn't cause problem. He doesn't do anything bad. And Leahy's like, what is the problem with Bubbles, right? So that's actually kind of cool. Now, I don't think there's so often, and I do mean so often, I couldn't even count the number because there's so many of them, where Leahy will protect Bubbles. So, for example, in season 5 that we just watched, an episode called Don't Trust the Shit Line, Bubbles want to sell some food to Leahy because he has money issues. And he wants to sell some food to Leahy, and he's like, "Hey Leahy, please buy this tub. I'll sell you a good tub for $12. There's a lot here. It's really worth the value." And Leahy know that he stole it, but Bubble comes in and he's like, "Yo, I need the cash. I'm sorry." Versus Ricky and Julian, who just commit crime because there's an opportunity for money. Bubble does it out of need, not out of want. You know, so that is quite important, and the whole story. So Bubbles, the reason why he's very respective of Leahy, very, very respective of Leahy. But, and this is the craziness of Ink Vendetta, you don't understand. Bubbles, right? I didn't even plan it, I swear to God, I thought of everything. My mother's head, my father's head, on my penis head, which is the most important, by the way. That I didn't plan this. Bubbles, Ricky and Julian, unreliable narrator. Ricky is fucked, and Julian is actually often drunk. Bubble, however, is a reliable narrator. So in season 7, we have Halloween 1986, which is, they did some crimes as a young kid, so that Leahy lost his job. And Bubble know that this is their fault, that Leahy is a drunk. So I think he feels bad about it. So there's always been disrespect out of the character of Bubble and Leahy. So then they get arrested, and they only want to arrest Julian and Ricky, but they get off scot-free. And then they end up in jail, which is really important. So Julian being in jail with Bubble isn't important at all. But it's important for a single factor. See, Bubble is a really good friend. He's a really good friend to Ricky, but he's a really good friend to Julian. He understands that telling Julian everything that's going on is betraying Ricky. So the fact that Ricky is not around helps Bubble, saying that maybe that's the right thing to do. And this is where I have a problem with Bubbles. And I love Bubbles, my favorite characters, but I do have a problem with Bubbles. So the first season Bubble is this fucking genius who talks about Plato and the noble lies, right? So he would know that Ricky is an over his head and has a problem. But instead of snitching, what he does is like he protects Ricky. So then he tells Julian. Season 4, episode 1. Season 4, episode 2. Man's Gotta Eat. Really cool thing about Man's Gotta Eat is that's something that they say often. It started out as Smokey and season 3 episode season 2 episode 6, Never Trust a Man with No Shirt On. And then season 3 episode 2 with Ricky no shirt on and Julian saying Never Trust a Man with No Shirt On. A Man's Gotta Eat is something very important in the show. So you got the whole thing, which is really good. So basically Julian refused to be part of Ricky. So then Ricky, the first thing that happened is he steals satellites. So he has the satellite, and the very opening is like, yo, you're stealing from the cable company, right? And the cool thing with that is Ricky's like, who gives a shit? Right? And then the whole park is benefiting from cheap cable. Now, legally speaking, is it bad? No. Does Ricky... See, that's one of the things that Ricky saw as a crime. But as a noble crime, right? As a noble crime. Kind of saying to the park, hey, you wanna just chill? Let's just chill. Season 4, episode 2, Man Gotta Eat, pushes Julian to the brink of... I wouldn't say madness, but still. And he's like, fuck you, I'm out of the park. So then we learn about the switch. See, the problem with Leahy and Randy, and I didn't finish it, I do apologize, is that they always been this power leverage with Ricky and Julian. See, Ricky and Julian, that's what I was trying to talk about with Bubbles and the fact that he's a reliable narrator. See, Leahy coming back always had the upper end, right? If he wasn't supervisor, Ricky would have eat him up. But there's like this power struggle that's kind of cool. So then Leahy is living in a car, the same station as Ricky, and Leahy allowed Ricky to live in a car, but Ricky's like, fuck you, Leahy, and he's really addicted to Leahy. Season 4, the way it ends is Leahy being pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. See, in my opinion, and I'm being truthful, season 4 is when the show really changed because it becomes more of a drama show. Season 1, no drama. Season 2, just fun. Season 3, funny, no drama. Now there is some drama. The way it ends is crazy. But again, that's the problem with shows. You need to up the stake so people will still watch. I don't want the same problem as season 1. I want the problem that season 4 have. Oh my god, the fact with the Jaybird hamburgers in season 4 to season 2. So it's a shame. And you know what? I'll be telling you the first version and the second version. You see this chair is broken. Give me a sec. I'm not supposed to leave it outside. But I have those two beautiful chairs. I have those two beautiful chairs inside, made of wood, that I've had for 2 years now. And I don't need this chair. So before I didn't care about this chair because I wouldn't go out, right? There you go. Because I didn't go out, I didn't care about this chair. But now that we're using, my pants are way too big, but they're warm, so that's why I wear them. What if I did this? Would it be comfy or not? Yeah, not too bad. I'm a bit too high. See, that's the problem. You're filming. Oh, guess what? Nice. This is possibly the best thing to do. No way. Holy. Yeah. That's perfect. Okay, that is really perfect. That is really good. I didn't think about that. So basically what happened with this chair, and I know it's not Trailer Park Boys, I'm sorry, ADHD. So, I've had this chair for the balcony, but I didn't use the balcony. The first time I used the balcony was starting last year, making some content on the balcony. And then I had this chair, and the chair was already fucked up. I was like, how much can I stay, right? Then we had the winter, and I had some good chair, and I was like, the good chair I want to stay them in, and when it's rainy, the chairs are in wood, they'll fuck up. So I have to stick to lay them inside, to leave them inside. Okay, so season 4, episode 2. the boy Ricky takes everything from Leahy. Fuck it, I don't want it. Good. It's a shame. Do I really care? Not really. So yeah, I cannot put my ends here. Why did I do that? I'll find a way to still use this, right? Okay. So I should restart this video, right? Fuck. Yeah. God damn it, ink. Okay, fuck it. I only have a couple more minutes to do. So, A Man's Gotta Eat is really sad. Ricky took everything from Leahy. Now, in my first version of this video, Randy leaves and he tells Leahy, A Man's Gotta Eat. You gotta take care of me, so I'm gonna go take care of myself. So it's really funny because if you know the lore, which is explained in the Christmas special, Randy used to be a male prostitute, and Leahy was the one to arrest him, but Leahy was actually the one to employ him. This is weirdly more comfortable. It's actually pretty good. I'll show you. There you go. So, Leahy taking care of Randy, there's always this power struggle. So, they're pretty kinky. I would say dominant, submissive. Randy being submissive, of course. I know, so I need to feel the need to say, of course, but still. So, Leahy not being the purveyor, not being able to take care of. Oh, I got a text. I got a text from my mom. Hi, mom. So, Leahy not being able to take care of, Randy leaves. And in my first version of this video, which was again deleted, I felt bad for Leahy about it because I'm like, Randy, if Leahy can take care of you, you're gonna be able to take care of yourself. Or if Leahy didn't take care of you, there's no love for there. You're there for the money, right? The little money of a trailer park supervisor. However, watching season 5, I believe that Randy left to push Leahy. So see, it's complex because Leahy did leave Randy a lot. No, Randy left Leahy a lot. So he left him during Countdown to Liquor Day. He left him during yeah, I have to redo that too. Shit. He left him during Don't Legalize It. He left him during season 5, and I believe he left him during season 9. You know, season 9, Leahy is straight. Anyway, so long story short, Men Gotta Eat. They're both there. They do have a cameo from. Okay, so Julian leave, and it's kind of cool because you get the lingo of the Trailer Park Boys. The lingo of the Trailer Park Boys is swish, which is an alcohol disgusting that you home make. I'll get you something drunk, like the Bubble say. We have Erica come back when they're stripping, because she has a cups. And the greatest thing about Erica was season 3. I said it because most show would do a season per year. Erica, there's a lot of people that says, oh, she wasn't in love with Julian, she would have not given a shit. But Erica was a good character. Erica was a character that believed in justice, right? As we saw. So long story short, what happened is Erica, she stopped Julian, and she does something good because she see Randy hooking up, and she see Julian being something fucking drunk, and she's like, I could arrest you, but you guys have enough problems on your own, right? So I really like that. Yeah. Okay, I remember I used to, because I have to take videos and I forgot what they were. So with Men Gotta Eat, that's pretty much all there is to the episode. There's something really cool, which is Ricky and Bubbles and Ricky fighting, and that's really cool because out of the Ricky and Julian, they wouldn't be friends. I truly believe that they wouldn't be friends. They're too much on the like. They're fighting too much. Bubbles always the one to say, "Hey, no fighting, no fighting, no fighting," and they both love Bubbles. So then what ended up happening is Bubbles goes to fight Ricky, not to fight physically, but with words. Like, don't you give a fight that Julian is gone? And then Ricky tells Bubbles, "You fucked up." And then Bubbles like, "What? You fucked up?" And it's the funniest thing because there's this famous scene, which is one of my favorite scenes ever, where Bubble is mad because Ricky owed him money, but again, Ricky doesn't have money because it's Ricky. So then, what ended up happening is he's going and it's like, yo, give me my money, Ricky. Like, I don't have your money. So then Bubbles like, give me a little bit of chips, and takes a big handful of chips, and Ricky tells him, that's so funny. That is so funny. And even the way they're doing it, the intro of it is amazing. Because Ricky says, I saw Bubble playing basketball, and the only reason that Bubble played basketball is when he's in a bad mood, right? To release some stress, which is really good. I would feed the geese. If you know what I'm talking about, you're awesome. So then Bubble says to the camera, to Ricky, I don't even like chicken chips. At this point, I don't give a fuck. That was gangster. Give me more of that, Bubbles. Episode end with them coming back to the park and sobering up, and then Julian coming back to his fucking trailer, and there's jack shit. There's nothing. So it was a place that Ricky used to grow dope, right? Season 4, episode 3. We're just gonna be doing the beginning because we did a lot of it already. So we got Rib Rub Tiki Zug, first appearance of Philadelphia Collins. First appearance, but not first appearance. Philadelphia Collins was actually in season 1, episode 1, as an extra. Yeah, and they had it back. Philadelphia Collins, aka the Mustard Tiger, aka a mackerel extraordinaire connoisseur. He said also, rest in peace, Philadelphia Collins. Rest in peace, Marguerite. Rest in peace, John Dodsworth. Yeah, rest in peace. Legend. Julian has no furniture. So he has to sleep on the floor. But the funny thing is, and that's what I fucking love. There's, and I like Julian, but Julian's pretty boring. There's a very specific relationship between Ricky and Bubbles, where you see that Ricky is kind of the one that's influenced Bubble in that, you could say in a bad way, but it's not really in a bad way. You could say that, but what happened is they saw a documentary on the Sasquatch, and then Bubbles also see it. Then Julian was a big boy, muscly boy, sexian. 30 sexy day, Julian. To me, this is a part of the first movie. To me, this is as big as the Joker saying, "Here we go, 30 sexy day, Julian." Yeah, that's super cool. Dude, I'm excited. I'm super excited. I love making content. I'll miss it when I work. I'll miss you guys. I don't want to know. I don't want to stop. But I have to because I have to pay the bills. Right? Such is life. A man's gotta eat. Should have said that 5 minutes ago. That would be cool. So, they don't have furniture and they think that Julian's a Sasquatch because he's so big. So they go in and they fuck him up. And the whole episode, they're all sore because they beat each other up with... They beat each other up. Also, the relationship between Bubbles and Ricky is so cute. So, for example, Ricky comes in with cereal, and he tells Bubbles, "You gotta try these, man. They're so fucking good." And then Bubbles like, "Really?" And then Julian, you know that Julian doesn't give a shit about that, right? That's something sweet. So the goal is to sell. So they go to steal furniture, but then they steal so much furniture that's like, "Yo, we could open up hotel." Because what's happened is Barbara tells Ricky, "Hey, Ricky, can you do your job of supervisor?" And Ricky and Barbara, they have a relationship. It's like, sure. And then Bubbles, who is influenced by Ricky, says that would be a great idea. Get Leahy and Barbara off her back, make a couple of bucks, which is not something that Bubbles would say, but now he says it, and I love this Bubbles. This Bubble to me, fuck, that's good. Cringe, don't care. So they go and steal some furniture. They have a lot of furniture. So then Julian's like, "Yo, we're gonna have a hotel, but we're rented by the hour," which is why they say the canonical greasy. And that's pretty much it. That's your episode. So I'll see you soon with season 5.